Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. And today for your Sunday series, it's going to be a best of 7 between Solar and Stats. Starting with game number 1 here on Acropolis. Top left-hand corner, you know him, you love him. He's the red Protoss player, it is Stats. And in the bottom right-hand corner, it is the blue Zerg player, also hailing from Korea, it is Solar. Alright, man, Solar is blue today because red versus blue is the standard for professional games held at the tournament level. Alright, so Solar versus Stats. The Stats versus Serral series that I posted a couple weeks ago, go back and watch it if you haven't already. It was incredible. Probably the best Protoss player in the world versus the best Zerg player in the world at this stage. Whew! Alright, man. Just one worker on gas here for Stats, and let's see if he rallies it. Yeah, he's going to rally it to the assimilator. Alright, so no cannon rushing, no proxy hatching, no pool first. Extractor here on 18, spawning pool on 17. 16, 18, 17 is what you want to do, Zerg players, if you're planning on going macro style, or if you're planning on doing 2-base, just whatever. If you're not going spawning pool first, then that is what you need to do. It lines up so very, very nicely. Ah, it's so nice. Anyway, I'm playing a lot of 3v3 lately, and if there's a Protoss on the other team, you can be very, very sure that they're going to go Sky Toss. Some combination of Carriers, Void Rays, and Tempests, and a Mothership anyway. Man, it is so, so good. So good in team games. I don't know what it is. Anyway, if I see a Protoss on the other team, I basically just rush to Corruptors and make as many as I can and wipe out their carrier fleet or whatever. If it's Void Rays, however, you need to switch to Hydralisks because, by golly, Void Rays with Prismatic Alignment, they just chew right through Corruptors. Whew. It's not a good feeling as a Zerg player, I can tell you that much. Anyway, really nothing crazy going on here. It is a 1-gate expand as it can be. It's an Adept opening first. The Overlord doesn't have to worry about getting shot out of the sky here. Warp Gate's getting started. And the second level of tech is going to be a Stargate here for Stats. Alright, man. So third base on the way here from Solar. Nothing too nuts here from anybody, really. Looks like the Queen was delayed a little bit to get that third base down. Oh, yeah, it's 2.5 minutes, and that's already there. So for sure, very quick third base here from Solar. Very macro opening, which is very safe to do, honestly, against Protoss. Unless, obviously, they're cannon rushing you, or unless it's some kind of a proxy gate thing. But against a standard 1-gate expand, this is going to be not a problem for Solar to hold. There are already Lings out. There's already a Queen here. And how's there one? Okay, I was going to say, how's there one Zergling? That doesn't make any sense. So Adept gets in, then just shades on out, says, okay, so nothing too crazy here, no full saturation on the natural base yet, no gases being taken yet either, and didn't actually get into the main base to scout if there was a lair, so a bit lacking on that scout. Meanwhile, the Overlord is getting a nice scout out, trying to see what's going on inside the land of the Protoss, and a Phoenix is going to kill you first off, bud, so you know it's going to be a gateway opening, or a Stargate opening, with an Oracle following up. So this Oracle's name is going to be Rosie the Maid, and George Jetson finally got a promotion from Cosmos Spacely. George wanted to use his newfound wealth to replace the old and clunky robot maid with something new and sleek. He bought a spherical robot from a shady dealer who claimed it could use lasers to blast problems away. George Jetson foolishly bought a Protoss Oracle which wreaked havoc on Orbit City. George Jetson, you're such a nincompoop sometimes, aren't you, man? But you haven't heard that word in a while, huh? Nincompoop. I'm old, guys. I'm an old person. Actually, forget exactly how old I am because it doesn't matter anymore. I'm just old. It's how this works, you guys. Like 25 was the last milestone that really made sense because that's when you could rent a car. But after that, like legally, it doesn't matter. I guess maybe when I'm old enough to actually get AARP and stuff and like old person benefits that'll matter. But anyway, lifting the Queen. Oracle comes in, gets 3 kills. I mean, sure. 3 kills is actually a little bit of an underperformance considering you have a Phoenix and an Oracle committed to this. But, you know, just trying to slow down the Zerg as much as you can. Stats is not going to go all in on that. He's going to go for those big compositions with the splash damage and the Immortals. And that's pretty much how you beat Zerg these days. You don't really want to get to super late game. What you want to do here, if your stats is get into like a Storm, Immortal, Archon style thing with just perfect storms. And see if Solar can handle it. But yeah, let the Immortal production begin. Double Oracle comes in, but there's 3 Queens and a Spore here. So nobody dies. Somehow, that Oracle is exactly 1 HP. But again, Couple more drones go down. It's a total... Oh, just kidding. One more drone went down. I don't know, man. I kind of feel like Solar is in a really good position here. These Adepts come in. They actually do more work than the Oracles did on that last attack, getting 3 more drones. So, nicely done. Actually, no. The first one was... So it's 2 more. 2 more drones. Roach Warren coming up at 5 minutes. Alaire on the way now, too. And as the third base is coming up for stats. And the Oracle still swinging around this backside, trying to see what they can get done. But I guess there's only 1 Queen and a Spore here. Man, the 3 Oracle play doing some work. Are any of these Oracles going to die? Are you kidding right now? Wait, was there just the 2? Oh, 1 died. Okay. So 1 did die in there. I didn't see the explosion because I'm blind sometimes, but he dead. That's probably Rosie the Maid, which probably a she thing. I'm pretty sure Rosie the Maid was female, which, again, assigning genders to robots, it's a sticky situation. Here comes a little Sentry Immortal play, which if you have Ravagers, you can handle it. If you don't have Ravagers, you're going to have a hard time with it. And so far, Solar, I don't know, man. Has he droned up a little bit too much? He's got 57 workers. He's got a handful of Lings. He's making 4 Roaches now, but is it too late, Solar? He's making Lings. That's not really the answer to the Sentry Immortal push. I don't know if this is intended to kill anyway, honestly. Man, a Spire coming in? Solar, I don't know if you have time for a Spire, buddy. Man, just Lings, Roaches, Glio Reconstitution on the way here, too. Got ourselves a Stasis Horde getting tossed down inside the main base. The Oracle gets picked off for her trouble. Another Oracle just kind of hanging out. Ooh, reinforcements coming in. I don't like this. I really don't like this for Solar. I think stats might have just won it here. I'm looking. Queen down. Ling's getting on top of these reinforcing Zealots, which is okay. It's totally fine. Solar buying time, which is the important thing here. But stats has the third base behind this, and Solar does not. So I don't know, man. I don't know what Solar is going to be able to do here. The Spire is going to finish. It feels like a long time if you're waiting for it, but if you don't watch, it's not that long. But yeah, this position, I've seen Zerg players in this position before, and it is not good. I feel like this is at least a dead third base. These are just Lings, man. There's just Zerglings against this army. There is more army supply. I guess Lings are across the map trying to shut down this third base by themselves, but Adept's warping to shut that down. I don't know where the heck Solar's army is right now. He's got 5 Ravagers, which is going to be helpful here, but the Zealot count's a little bit scary. Stasis Ward gets tossed down. And look at that. Nice reaction time from Solar, recognizing what's happening in the middle of this engagement. Force Field's trapping Ravagers in. Queen's going down as well. Force Field's getting taken down by Corrosive Vials. And Drone's forced to pull off the line here a little bit. I mean, Solar is just hanging on by a thread here. 14 Lings in production to try to handle this largely, yeah, Stalker Immortal army. I kind of like it. My gosh, is Solar going to hold on this? I don't know, man. Looking really, really close. This is absolutely just flying by the seat of his pants. And he does hold it off. Holy crap. He doesn't kill the Immortal, though, because the Immortal needs to get out of there with his 17 kills. Man, best unit in the game, the Immortal. I don't know, maybe the Marine. Anyway, this Oracle has a few kills, too. 8 total. We'll give her 9 before she goes down. So 5 drones have gone down. A bunch more got killed in that attack. 25. And Solar's at 45 workers. Whereas you can go ahead and reinforce at the front and probe up back home if you're Protoss, because you don't have to make that decision. So he's at 64 to 45 workers on 3 bases. Solar's also on 3 bases. The Spire got done. There's only 2 Mutalisks on the way because Solar can't really afford anything more than that. The attack at the third base is ill-fated because, again, recall means your whole army is back home. And there are Mutas out, but guess what? There's already also Phoenix out. Well, there's more Mutas than I thought. The 2 were there, but previously there were more in production, so never mind. Yeah, these Phoenix just absolutely hard counter the Mutalisks. They do. Look at this. 2 Phoenix for this much gas worth of Mutalisk. Doing pretty well for themselves here. I mean, they don't want to get too close because this one is pretty injured at this point, but there's another Mutalisk down. And the Mutas are like, I guess we could kill one of the pylons here, but yeah, 3 Phoenix are really scary. 2 here for these Mutalisks. Third base is just happily running. Solar is not taking a 4th still. I don't know what he's trying to do, man. Picking off some probes here and there. He can't engage with the Phoenix, not when the control is this good, and its stats to the control is really, really good. Meanwhile, the rest of the army's like, well, the Mutalisks aren't really much of a problem here. I mean, sure, some probes are going down, but that means a lot of his army is there, which means the army is not down here. Which means stats game sense is absolutely insanely good. The Phoenix are just teasing these mutas. And that's your good game. Stats takes game 1 here in 9 minutes and 57 seconds. Yeah, that was good. I mean, it just came down to that first attack. Solar wasn't ready for it. He didn't have the roaches on the way, didn't have the ravagers on the way. All he had was a handful of lings and queens, and by the time he got the resources up, he couldn't quite hold this off without sacrificing about 20 drones. And just the expansion behind it, no sign of a 4th base from Solar. The tech switch into Mutalisks was a Hail Mary. It didn't work because the Phoenix were already in production, because obviously there was already a Stargate, which you knew. I'm not sure what going for Mutalisk was going to do there for Solar. Weird decisions, man. Weird stuff. But sometimes you get caught with your pants down, right? The army comes across the map, you're not quite ready for it, and you don't quite die, but it does set you up for death later on. So Stats gets game 1 victory, looking really, really good doing it. Let's move into game number 2 here. Don't go anywhere. Game 2 is here on Cyberforest, the Ladder Edition. Bottom right, Stats. Top left, Solar. Yeah, when you're playing Protoss, you need to make sure when they move out and what composition they are using. And if you don't watch them move out, then you can also fall the way that Solar fell in game 1. Whew. Alright, man. Cyberforest. Pretty darn good map. I don't think it's in the map pool anymore, but most maps are not in the map pool anymore from the last generation. Yeah, did you see the Pylon Show's special Map Makers Edition? I didn't watch it, but I'm in the Pylon Discord server, so a lot of discussion around map making in there. Blah, blah. Apparently, it is very, very hard to do to make everybody happy all of the time. Yes, you cannot please all of the people all of the time. Just ask the StarCraft 2 balance team. And the StarCraft 1 as well. I don't think StarCraft 1 has a balance team anymore, because they haven't done a balance update for, like, I don't know, maybe 18 years or so. When was the last balance patch for Brood War? Man, I want to say it was maybe something like... It came out in 1998, Brood War did. So I want to say like 2000 to 2001 was the last balance patch, and they're just like, we're good. It's good enough. Any changes to the meta, whatever. Deal with it, guys. They didn't think it was going to keep going for another 20 years, you know? They didn't. They absolutely did not think it would continue to be a huge thing and like the father of all esports for all time. Mineral Walk? I was like, dang. Stats needs a Mineral Walk out of there, and he does. So nothing too crazy again. Solar's like, I'm going to keep dancing with what brought me here, which is the 1-0 down, but it's cool. It's totally cool. Keep rolling with this, Solar. We support you. We support you as an incredible European, not European, golly. I'm just so used to, like, the EU Zerg thing that when I start talking about Zergs, ooh, probe snipe, nicely done. No more scouting for you. I'm so used to saying EU Zerg that, like, Korean Zerg doesn't make any sense. Like, there's good Korean Zergs out there. Sue won a premier tournament recently. Solar obviously exists here well. We've got Dark. We've got, Rogue is in that list as well. So, I mean, sure, there's tons of great, fantastic Korean Zerg players here. It just feels like the Terrans and the Protoss Zergs get more... I don't know, they get more attention? They do better against the Zerg players they face against from their own home nation? I don't know what it is. Meh, meh, meh. Anyway, Solar doing the same thing he did in game number 1. Got that 3rd hatch up before he got his queens up. Queen priority at the natural base, because that's where the Adept is going to come in, not so much inside the main base. And as here comes the Adept. So any lings on the way? Yep, 2 sets of lings in production. Queen out here. Going to try to throw down a tumor first, which the Adept might have something to say about that. If she can snipe that down, that'd be pretty good. No, gets a shot off on the queen, which is not what you want. Adepts using shots on queens is a total waste of time. And then she shades out. So she recognizes the saturation levels. She recognizes the queen is here. Yeah, I mean, you want to shoot at lings, you want to shoot at drones, you want to shoot at creep tumors. Those are your priorities as an Adept. So that's being a little bit sloppier here in game number 1. But obviously, once Stargate opening again, gonna go for ye old Phoenix and probably gonna get an Oracle after that. And then it is. Oracle's name is going to be Death Star 1.0. The Emperor orders spherical weapon, which could bring untold destruction by firing green beams of energy. Once he saw the first version, the Emperor realized should have been more specific about the size. That's a good one. I like that one. That's got to be a Joseph Atwell special, doesn't it? Anyway, thanks, Joseph. Good one. Appreciating it. All right, another Oracle on the way. Is that 2? Yep, 2 Oracles and a Phoenix on the way here. Solar didn't really handle the aggression with the Oracles that well in game number 1. If you just want additional queens, maybe throw up additional Spore or 2 here. Again, I don't know, man. It is a hard trade-off. Did he lose as many drones during the Oracle harass that it was necessary for him to build a spore to try to save it. No, I guess it didn't. He did fine. What really got him was just that first attack. He was okay. I think he was alive after the first Oracle stuff. He lost a few drones, but overall not that big of a deal. Nothing game-ending. 2 Adepts moving out across the map. Maybe do some harassment at the front, while the Oracles and the Phoenix do some stuff at the back here. The Queens were here, man. They're not sure where to go is the problem. Stats has his pick of wherever he wants to be here. Trying to sneak on in. There's not a spore here yet. So again, 2 drones down. Maybe a third if we can get that one who's sneaking around here. No, Oracle doesn't want to. Not at all. Second Oracle ready to dive on in. But again, there's a Queen and a spore there too. So, so far I think Solar's done a pretty just fantastic job holding this. Lings running around. Did the Lings actually force the Adepts back home? I think they did. They didn't die, right? Whoa, 2 Adepts have gone down. Nice job, Lings. So they got 2 trying to move across the map. These 2 not doing as well. Or these 4 Lings not doing as well. Roachhorn coming up at about the 5-minute mark again. Lair coming in here too. And let's go ahead and make Gateway. And an Immortal and some Sentries. So this is a really, really close rematchy feeling for game number 1 here. Oracles do take down a Queen, as there are 3 of them here now. And they do ignore armor entirely, which is the reason Oracles are good, is they ignore armor with their magic attack. I mean, it's not magic, but it's energy, but it's, you know what I'm talking about here. It's like Widow Mines. Widow Mines ignore armor because they're not actually doing an attack. It's a special thing that Pulsar Beam is too. I don't know. Sometimes StarCraft 2 is a little bit confusing, but we're good. Lings, ooh, going for the scout. No, say the force field. You're going to die in here. And most of them do. There's a bunch of Lings out here. More than we saw in the first game. He really wants to know when Solar, or when Stats is moving out. So Solar's got Roaches on the way again. Larger number of Zerglings here, I think, too. Glial Reconstitution coming up. So he's a bit more prepared for this time than he was in game number 1. And there's an Observer with him. I was like, I couldn't see the Observer for a second, but there had to be one. Oh, that is just a full evacuation, man. That is so much drone death. 6 on that one. Losing an Oracle for the first time today, so not too shabby. Overseer scouts around to see what's going on, and obviously there's a 3rd base up there too. So that's pretty good army here. 43 total supply. Got the Sentries, got the Stalkers, got the Immortals. Lings and Ravagers are here this time, though. More Ravagers coming in. So Solar more ready for this. Stasis Ward does go down inside the main base, which is annoying, but not game-ending. It really didn't catch any of the drones. Just, it looks like 1 there, and a couple Queens, which is problematic, but they're going to come out of stasis eventually here. Glial Reconstitution coming in, making the Roaches faster. And just trying again. Stas is doing the same thing he did in game number 1. Poking around the outside, trying to find drones to kill with his Oracle. Trying to throw down stasis. No, say the Lings. We're going to kill that before it even starts coming up. Thank you very much. And yeah, I'm not sure that Stats likes what he's seeing here. These Lings, you're not getting a... Oh, this is actually... It was wide open until you got the instant reinforcements. And the recall. Hey, okay. That's good, actually. That's actually really good for Solar. He's able to kill these units. Maybe not. Maybe he won't be able to. Come on. Chase him down. It's like a 1/6 of the army. Never mind. Everybody else showed up, too. That worked out. That worked out for Stats pretty well. The harassment was not there. Infestation Pit coming in here, too. Another Stasis Ward goes down, catching a couple drones, but that's totally fine. We can roll with that as they go back to work. Spore Crawler getting reburrowed in a better position here. And this Oracle doesn't have enough energy to do anything at all, so it's just kind of posturing to be cool, I suppose, is what we're looking at here. Swarm Host on the way. Look, not a big fan of Swarm Hosts. I'm just not. But it does indicate this game's going to go on a little bit longer. Seems like Crocodile is getting some free damage down on the Protoss units. 9 Swarm Hosts in a defensive position are actually kind of bad. Ravagers coming up here too. And by golly, what on earth? Wow, what did Stat see there that said I need to go home? I guess the sheer number of Ravagers kind of shuts down everything he's trying to do here. So Storm getting started, Charge getting started. He's not going to be able to finish off Solar in the first 10 minutes today. Still no 4th base, man. I don't know why Solar is so averse to 4th bases. But he's got his Swarm Hosts. I don't know where they are. Oh, here they are. Look, here's the problem, though. They are so slow flying. You just walk away from them. And then they're going to expire and not kill anything. Landing. All right, they got a Zealot. I apologize. They got a single Zealot. And that was it. So, I don't know. Free units, right, though? They're free units, so they can't be that bad. Look at this timing. Charge finishes up, and instantly Stats is like, all right, let's go. Let's go. Oh, just kidding. He didn't actually say let's go, but he could have, because he was busy with the stasis micro. Back here. 4th base from Solar. 9.5 minutes. Seems a little bit late, buddy. Another stasis doesn't happen. Spore Crawler reburrowings to deal with the Oracle, and does actually kill it. A little bit lackadaisical there. What was that Oracle? These Zealots need to go in. I think you can kill these roaches. Are they waiting for +1 attack too? Maybe they are. That's finishing up as well. I mean, Stats timings are just insane. They're just really... And a 4th base on the way from Stats. Solar, you got to keep ahead, man. You got to keep ahead in economy. You can't be even with the Protoss. This is really crazy. I don't know why he's not going in. Is he waiting for the roaches to move out? How would he know? He doesn't have vision there. Anyway, roaches trying to shut down this 4th base, but immortals show up and all the roaches need to go or they're going to die. Ling's going for the run in. There we go. Aggressive Swarm Host. Coming on in here. Storm landing a little bit early there. Never mind. There's like 8 storms. We're good. We're just fine. All the storms you ever want. These Zealots still not moving in. I don't know why. These Lings are being a little bit annoying inside the main base. They'll probably pick off a probe or 2. And by that I mean 1. I think maybe it was 1. Where are they going anyway? The Zealots do finally decide to go move in. Oh, think of the Baneling Nest. That's a huge get. That's going to deny centrifugal hooks. That's going to deny more Banelings, which you really want against the Zealot heavy pressure that Stats is rolling with right now. And the Baneling Nest goes down, and all of the Swarm Hosts get caught up against a wall! Is this just GG? This might just be GG. Losses, 9,000 for Solar, 4,000 for Stats. 13 more Swarm Hosts on the way. Solar is undaunted. Oracle goes down after tossing down a Revelation. I don't know. We're 11 minutes into this thing. I just don't know. Roach Ravager against this composition is not good. The Swarm Hosts, yes, they help immensely with this. Some Banelings would be pretty awesome too, but you don't have a Baneling Nest anymore, and nor has one been replaced. So Solar doesn't feel like he needs it. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Locusts coming on down again. Fly, 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 fly through the storms. More storm on the right side, more storm on the top side. And the Locusts are mostly stuck behind the Roaches and Ravagers here and getting stormed if they get too close. Charge Lot attack here into the 3rd base, doing pretty well for themselves. They're going to take down a Queen as well. Ravager wiped out. And once again, the Locusts just don't do anything. Alright, so the Zealots do get taken down. 8 kills on that Zealot before... Ooh, 9 before he gets taken out. There's some pretty cost-efficient stuff there. Mothership on the way from Stats. Hive on the way. And that Spire about finished from Solar here, too. Carriers in production. Holy crap, we're going to see Stats win with Carriers against Zerg? I thought that was impossible. Ooh, free High Templar, though. Solar going to get a win for the first time in a while, it feels like. Is that another base? Stats! You are just taking Solar apart right now. Knowledge control. It's just so good. Why is he recalling? I guess he's worried about this. So he recalls some of his army to the... Oh, to this base. Zealots just running around being super annoying, killing drones wherever they can. Flank. That's a flank, man. Popping. Okay, alright. So we're popping the Locusts in 2 separate locations here, which I kind of like. Splitting up a little bit seems smart. And they all end up going over here anyway. But guess what? Stats has had enough storm for about 5 minutes now. Not really worry about your Locusts all that much. Also, there's shield batteries, so that's a terrible place to launch Locust, man. Storm plus shield batteries plus Archons plus... I guess Immortals? Yeah, it's bad. It's bad stuff here. Pushing up. This is not really a great place, I don't think, to be for Stats. But the Mothership is now here. This base has been taken. Solar does not know this exists. Does he know that the Spire exists? Stats does not know that the Spire exists either. So both players are hiding something from each other here. Greater Spire on the way. Solar trying to go for that Greater Spire Broodlord stuff. Locusts. Ooh, sneak attack. Do they have detection, though? They sure do. Landing and picking off a High Templar there. Not bad. But nothing to prevent stats from just retreating and then storming everything into oblivion. Got carriers alone? Alright, so the carriers are not actually part of this group. He's just sneaking them off by themselves up the left side here. Doing pretty good for themselves, too. Air weapons level 1 is on the way, but not done yet. Corrosive Biles landing. Locusts not here, and the Storm Roasts are not ready to pop quite yet either. There we go. That cooldown does come up. Ravagers firing on some of these Immortals. Doing some work here. 47 kills on that Immortal. 48. Again, a lot of these are Locusts. It inflates the numbers. Corruptor's coming out to try to deal with the carriers. And no, not enough, man. Stats takes it. Solar taps out. He knows this base is dead. I'm not sure if you found out about this base or not, but Army Supply was half that of Stats, and Stats wins the thing. Storm, Immortals, Archons, and then a very sneaky tech switch into carriers, which Solar couldn't really afford to keep up with. He couldn't afford to get the Corruptors needed to deal with it. This base was probably down. And then it was a 3-basing Zerg versus a 5-basing Protoss, and that's going to be all she wrote. So, good game. Good game there, but that's a 2-0 lead in this best of 7. I mean, it's a best of 7. It's not a best of 3. It's not, or a best of 5 or a best of 3. So it's not over or virtually over yet, but it is hard to come back against Stats and win like 4 of the next 6 games? For the next 5 games? Is that what it is? 7 games total. We already played 2. Gotta win. I think that's what it is. I don't know. Brain falling apart. We're good. We're sticking together. We are here. I mean, look at this. 22,000 resources lost for Solar and 16. I mean, that is just a discrepancy unlike you will usually see. 19 Swarm Hosts down during the Great Swarm Host Massacre of 2019. It's just like 8 Archons. 67 Zealots went down. A lot of Zealots got killed in this game, usually in offensive capacities. 4 Immortals, 8 Archons, 8 High Templars, 6 Sentries. I mean, it's a lot of single-digit losses here. Whereas 26 Ravagers went down, 53 Roaches, 229 Lings, 21 Drones, and 2 Probes got killed. 2. And the Mailing Nest that never got replaced. Okay, let's move on to game number 3 here, and we'll be right back. Okay, game 3. It's going to be on Kairos Junction, the ladder edition. Bottom right, Solar. Top left, Stats. I kind of feel like Solar needs to mix this up a little bit. Did the same opening the first 2 games and lost the first 2 games. So, I don't know. We'll see what he does. Overlord scouting, probe scouting, Hey, did you know there's a weekly podcast dedicated to the Falcon Paladin Hour? It is me. It is Somicron, an Australian. We talk about all sorts of great stuff in the StarCraft world. We talk about things in the video game and TV show, movie, books, all sorts of nerdy stuff world. If you want to know what the hottest shows coming out are and what we're watching and what we're into and what we recommend, go ahead and search Falcon Paladin on your podcast app, wherever it is. iTunes, one of the million Google podcast apps that exist out there, you'll find it. And even just on the internet, you just search Falcon Paladin Hour and you'll pull up the link to that site as well. So check it out. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. It's just a weekly pod for about an hour or so, obviously, because it's the Falcon Paladin Hour. And it's a good time. So check it out. A little bit of probe harass here. Try to get in there to block the hatch, but Solar a little bit too fast with that one. The 16 hatch is really good at stopping that from happening. And the one get expanded back home is now. There it is. All right, so nothing too crazy from either player. Solar again, 16, 18, 17 over here. And we'll see if he goes for the quick third base ahead of his queens. I mean, I don't think his opening is the problem. He's not dying to like some crazy aggression out of Stats. He's dying after that, right? He's dying after the point that going a third hatch without the queens would kill him. Not having the queens earlier, it isn't hurting him at all. Unless there's an economic problem with it, which, no, I don't think that's it either. I think Solar just, not quite handling this little early Sentry Immortal push as well as he could. Also taking his 4th base incredibly late. I think that was a major problem for him too. His 3rd base was at 2 minutes, and there it is. And then his 4th base last game was like at 9 minutes. It was crazy. So that's kind of what Stats pressure can do to you, though, is you don't feel like you have the time or the space to breathe to actually take another base while he's on your front door, and unless you shove him away, you don't really feel safe to expand. It's going to be another Stargate opening. Of course it is. Why would stats change what's working for him? Shouldn't change at all. Adept moving out across the field here. Again, just first Adept scouting. Really doesn't expect to be able to scout into the main base at this stage. I don't think he's been able to do it, or she's been able to do it in the first couple of games here so far. So actually shading in to look at the third. How interesting. And then going for another shade over here. Actually, this is pretty much... Oh, the body block was really good there. And the Adept not able to get any kills. And does escape, though. That was close. That was only 34 HP left. Queen DPS is pretty nice. So, Phoenix opening here first. Largely going to be into an Oracle. Warp Gate coming in here, too. Ling Speed getting started. Etc., etc. We've seen this all before. Again, I believe nobody's mixing it up here in the first 3 minutes. I guess I understand that stats wouldn't want to, but... And again, Solar didn't really get killed by his opener. So, hey, if the opener is safe and the opener allows you to get up to 3 bases super fast, why not? Why not do it? That's what I always say. So, Oracle on the way. Oracle's name. Is that the first one? No. It is. Oracle's name is going to be... Too Many Cooks. Takes a lot to make a stew, a pinch of salt and laughter too. A scoop of kids to add the spice, a dash of love to make it nice. And you've got... Too many cooks. Too many cooks. Too many cooks. Too many cooks. Repeat variations of this for about 20 minutes with some added murder. Yeah, Too Many Cooks. If you're not familiar with this, go on YouTube and watch it. Just search Too Many Cooks. You'll see it. It's a classic. As the Oracle comes in, Too Many Cooks tried to get some stuff done. Does, again, 2 kills. Fine, whatever. Nothing insane here. The multiple Oracle thing, yeah. Stats really seems to like this, and it's working out for him, too. But Adult Swim originally aired that at, like, 3 a.m. Just out of nowhere. They didn't announce it. They weren't like, hey, check out this really weird animation that we found, or this weird... It's not an animation, it's live action, but... It's basically the intro to an 80s sitcom, ostensibly. Anyway, go watch it. It's crazy. 4... drones go down. Ooh, Oracle gets picked off there, though. That was pretty good. Out of Solar. Not too shabby at all. Hey, the Adepts come in for the follow-up. I mean, I'm having all of the deja vu. Have I ever cast a best of series that was so the same through the first 3 games like this? It's crazy. Yeah. There's your lair. Roachborn coming up at 5 minutes. I mean, this is all what we've seen before. But anyway, yeah, it came up at 3 a.m. And so, like, Reddit and Twitter was all like, what on earth? I was watching Adult Swim last night, and this came on, and I was like, did I hallucinate it? Was I sleep deprived? Or, like, I woke up to this thing on the TV, and it was really freaking me out. I don't know if it was real or not. It's just, Adult Swim is so good at that. I just love the subverting the expectations. Additionally, the other thing I really love them for is releasing... an episode of Rick and Morty on April Fool's Day. Just because everybody had been waiting for a new episode, and then they just knew. They knew the conversations that would happen was people would talk to their friends and be like, hey man, there's a new episode of Rick and Morty out. And like, haha, April Fools. That actually was. Because that's what I did too. My buddy was like, texted me, hey, there's a new episode of Rick and Morty. And I was like, no, there's not. It's April Fool's Day. Come on. They didn't announce anything. They wouldn't just release it without any kind of an announcement. And they totally did. Oh, they're hilarious. Hey, look, it's Sentries and an Immortal here. What? And a third base behind it. Stats. You're so unpredictable. Like, all right, Solar's going for the counterattack to try to shut down this third base, but can he get it today? Nope. Hey, look, instant, immediate reinforcement warpins. Huh. And the Zealots handle it no problem. And if they don't handle it, then you have more Zealots warping. I actually brought the whole army back for this. I don't know about that, Stats. I really don't feel like that was a necessary move. But alright, Solar bought himself some time. Stats was really worried about losing that third base that came up. Solar's fourth, once again, does not exist, nor is it on the way. So, he's got a better army. Roaches, Ravagers, Lings. Is he walking his queens across? Kinda, sort of. Yeah, I mean, this is a very deliberate, let's move across the map tile style thing here. Overseer scouts in, sees what's up. Is there, I mean, there's going to be charge, there's going to be storm, there's going to be immortals, there's going to be sentries. I really don't know why you need to scout stats at this point, but fine. He splits up his army, so Lings come in here, get almost nothing done, and then the rest of the army comes up this way. It might actually get a surround on that immortal, but nice positioning, getting him back into that corner. No surround for you, and Stats is just responding to this so darn well. Solar coming in. He's trying to force the issue right now, but that immortal does have a shield battery, buddy. And he is not going to die to Zerglings. Not today. Lings. Roach is actually cruising into the southern base. At the third here, Corrosive Biles landing on these force fields. Force fields coming up as well. 3 probes have gone down, but this really looks like this has been held. The third base has not been held, though. 9 and 10 kill immortal, 7 kill immortal. That's what we're talking about here. So yeah, this has absolutely been held. However, the third base is in a world of hurt, as 8 probes did get sniped down there. Solar did not expand behind this. He has the resources to do so. Is he just really doing the reinforcement trickle? He's trying the reinforcement trickle, you guys. It's just not going super well for him at the moment. 12 kill immortal. Roaches really want to take down this Nexus, but their DPS is actually kind of garbage. Can they get it? That'd be a huge victory. Oh, no, everybody recalled over here, so no. All right, saving the day. Oracle with 0 kills, probably trying to throw down some stasis or whatnot. Solar still doesn't have a 4th base. What is happening right now? I don't understand. He's 9 minutes in, doesn't have a 4th. Did you try to go for a 3-base Roach, Ravager, Ling all in? Because, like, you think that would work, right? Because Stats extended himself a little bit, getting a 3rd base of his own, and Solar's on 3 bases with all the economy that affords you. But no, absolutely not. The 3rd base is alive. Ling's trying to come up here, but I think somebody's learned his lesson in Stats, and there are some more Zealots already here with another shield battery coming up. Oh, they're trying to snipe down. Oh my. Oh, can they snipe it down? Oh my gosh, it's so close. The Lings do actually take it down. Are you kidding me? Wait, hold on. What? Shield battery. New shield battery came up. Had just enough shield energy to save that Nexus. It was dead. It was a dead Nexus for sure. But the Zealots doing the body block, preventing enough Lings from surrounding it to actually kill it. And the shield battery that came up and healed up, that is insane. What a play. What an absolutely great play from Stats. All right, man, I think that might be it. I think that was a lot of engagement to try to take down that 3rd base. Has not been able to do so. Recalls to save it. And if Solar wants to go somewhere else, so be it at this stage. We got the Archons with the +1 attack. No upgrades whatsoever for Solar, by the way. I'm not sure if I mentioned that previously, but no upgrades at all. Here we go. Trying to make this thing happen on the top of this ramp. Forcing an Archon does go down there. Oracles in the mix are pulsar beaming down these Ravagers one by one by one by one. Nothing can stop them. There's nothing here that can shoot up at all. Solar's army is split up a little bit, and that's the good game. Stats takes the 3-0 lead today in this best of 5. Holy cannoli. I want to see how many kills these Immortals have. It's my favorite thing to do. It's my salty Zerg thing to do is what it is. Gosh. He just taps out so darn fast. Alright, one more time. We'll just do it when they get up on the top. That'll be their final count. Bam, done. Alright. 18 kills, 13 kills. Only 2 kills. You stink. 8 kills there. So, I mean, they're paying for themselves, man. Archon on the mix with 4 kills and 2 kills. Not doing a whole lot to be hot. This guy back here has got 2. He's new to the game. Popped to that robotics facility. So, yeah. Solar's like, I'm on 3 bases. I need to kill you now. I don't feel comfortable going into the later game with ya. Which is weird, because, again, everybody says Zerg is overpowered in the late game versus Protoss. But don't tell Solar that, apparently. So 9,000 to 5,000 resource lost against Solar. Just doubled up on the number of resources he lost here compared to the Protoss opponent. At the end of the day, an Immortal died. 4 Adepts, 6 Stalkers, 13 Zealots, 27 Roaches, 10 Ravagers, 134 Lings, 4 Queens. I wonder if it just came down to this. If this 3rd base gets sniped, I think Solar doesn't feel so desperate to go for that attack. But it's alive and it's here. And as is true for all units in StarCraft, as long as you're not dead, you're performing at 100% efficiency. So this base is like it was never even hurt at all. Crazy stuff, man. I did not expect a 3-0 opening in this series. I'm looking at it. I still don't quite believe it. But we're gonna do our best to get through the rest of the series here. It's again, best of 7. Reverse sweep entirely possible. We'll see. Let's see what Solar can do here in the next couple of games. And until then, well, not until then. We'll be right back with that. How about? Don't go anywhere. Game 4 is going to be on King's Cove, the Ladder Edition, a site of many a long macro game in its history. And in the bottom right, we have the blue Zerg player. It is Solar. And in the top left, it is Stats. All right, man. What are we going to do here today, friends? Friend of Rooney's. We're going to see more of the same. We're going to see it mix it up a little bit. Somebody needs to explain to me why on earth Solar refuses to get 4th bases here. It just doesn't make any sense. I've seen a bunch of these kind of 3-base Roach Ravager all-ins from Zerg against Protoss over the last 3 to 4 months, and they never work. Just Protoss is able to sit back. They got shield batteries to defend. Like, just going to kill the Protoss can be done, but not in that situation. Not when they're on 3 bases. Not when they're able to keep pumping Immortals out, keep making Archons. Especially not if they have Storm at that stage of the game. So I don't know what Solar is even trying to do there, but I don't know. Maybe... Again, he was desperate to do it in the last game because he spent so much trying to snipe that 3rd base and he couldn't do it. So, So Gateway expand down here, it looks like. 1 gas being taken as well. Everything looks all nice and normal and neat. Probe coming down. Hatch gas pool play out of Solar. Looks like maybe there was some lag or something they had to fix there, but nothing too worrying whatsoever. And, oh, hang on. That's a forge. Is this... He doesn't usually make cannons in his wall. At least not at this stage of the game, but he's got a forge. I'm wondering if that is just... Because this is a huge area to wall off. It's a weird map that way, King's Cove is, and... Where are you, Probe? Ah! Oh! What? What is going on? Pylon, 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 pylon. You're not getting in here, boys. You're not killing me. You're not shutting this down. No, sir. Man, when is the last time I saw Stats go for Cannon Rush? He's got a Cyber Core too, though, so this has got to be more Has-style robotics facilities things. Yep, there's the cancel on the hatch. Very smart. And the immediate start of the Roach Warren, right? Queen on the way. Yep, 2nd gas being taken here, and a spine would not be amiss either. We'll keep. Oh, there we go. There's a spine. Okay, so good. So I think Solar's responding to this properly. I've never seen Stats do this. Okay, not never. I don't think I've ever cast him doing it. I think there have been games I've watched of his on Twitch where he has done this, but it is such a surprise to cast him doing it because he never has. Cannon coming up. Oh, that cannon doesn't protect it. Bam, that's a cardinal sin of cannon rushing is your first cannon needs to protect the future cannons that are coming up. And if it doesn't, try it again. Zerglings really want to kill that probe. And they just can't. They're slow wings. There's a cannon here already. Probe comes up to the high ground to provide spotting. Queen trying to kill it. Probe does get sniped off. That's huge. That's a huge victory here for Solar. That probe got killed. And this cannon is going to go down. No shield battery. Ah, the shield battery can out-heal both the Queen and the Spine Crawler. And a 2nd shield battery comes up. This cannon owes its entire life to the existence of shield batteries. All right, so far so good. I gotta say, out of both players, really, I don't know who's going to come out on top here. Ling's cruising across the map. Is he just not bothering with another probe? He's like, I got everything I need. I got my Immortal. I got my Warp Prism. Yeah, this is Has-style, man. Ravager's out, because again, we have the double gas production. Immortal comes up. Takes a lot of hits. Is not actually in range to be healed by a shield battery. Ooh, that's a problem. That's a big problem. Get it out of there. And that cannon's going to get finished off as the shield batteries are out. There are right there. Overlord comes down to see what we're dealing with exactly. Another cannon going to go down. Or another, rather, pylon goes down, another cannon does go down. The Warp Prism shows up to try to do some fancy Warp Prism micro with another Immortal on the way. That is being Chrono Boost insofar as Stats can Chrono Boost it. But these Ravagers doing some serious work on these shield batteries, and I don't know, man. This is pretty fancy stuff out of Stats. I'm loving it. But taking hits. Oh, hang on, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Oh, didn't pick it up, and that's your GG. Solar does manage to eke one out here against Stats' really cheesy Has style stuff. Which again, I don't see very much, but considering he was up 3-0 in a best of 7, I suppose it makes sense he would try it out. Wow. So yeah, I mean, that was perfectly responded to, all right? So if you're a Zerg player who struggled against this in the past, like as soon as you see what's happening, second guess, Roach Warren, Spine. Get a queen. Try to take down whatever's close enough to like creep up this way. Don't let anything get high ground vision if you can help it. And then just make Ravagers, and you can shut this thing down. Nicely done. Nicely done by Solar. So 3-1. We're not done yet. No, we're not done yet. Let's come back with more StarCraft. Just a second. It's new Repugnancy. This is what it is for game number 5 of this best of 7. Top right, Stats. Bottom left, Solar. Hey, he didn't have to make a 4th base in that game to win. Maybe not making a 4th base is the secret to winning against Protoss. All right, man. Let's see what happens. Stats is like, it didn't work, but Solar still needs to win 3 straight games against me here, which that is super hard to do in sports, whether ball sports or esports, you guys. I love both. I love both of them equally. I love watching both of them. And it's just, I don't know, man. I just feel like an equal opportunity dude in a lot of ways. Like, I love both ball sports and esports. I love StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2. Like, I don't see the problem with, like, hating on stuff, man. StarCraft is StarCraft, in my opinion. Also, I guess I love Warcraft 2 and Warcraft 3, so maybe I just love Blizzard things, is what it is on that side of stuff, and yar. Yar. Alright, what are we doing here? No Forge this time, that's for sure. No probe coming across the map this time. That's for sure. Is there really not a probe at all this time? Stats is like, I'm just going to win without scouting. How about that? I don't know. Does it feel like Stats is kind of playing with one hand behind his back here? Like, I'm going to go for Has style, which I haven't really practiced all that much. Try to win. I didn't win, darn it. And this one I'm not going to probe scout at all. And maybe that's because he knows that Solar's going to do the darn same thing he always does unless he's being cannon rushed. Which is going to be a 3rd hatch right about now. Check that action out, man. Look at it. Look at him go. 1 minute and 50 second. Yeah. 1 minute, 50 second 3rd hatch. 49 second 3rd hatch, guys. That is the zippiest of hatches, of 3rd hatches you can ever possibly get. I guess if you skip the pool and the gas, you can get a 3rd hatch faster. I kind of want to see someone try that against Stats sometime. That'd be great. Stats is not pro scouting again. Oh, no, he is. Now he is. Now he's pro scouting, and he's like, by golly, the same darn thing Solar has done in every game. And maybe that's part of why Solar is struggling. Stargate opening is just Solar is doing the exact same thing every game. And Stats is like, well, all right. I know what I'm going to deal with. I know what I'm going to see. I guess one of the games did have Swarm Host, which was weird. But honestly, it wasn't Nidus Swarm Host or anything. It was just Swarm Host, which, he's seen it a bunch of times before. It's pretty easy to handle. But I guess he had to go Mutas too. So, fine. Solar's been mixing up a little bit here. He just hasn't had any success. And I'm really trying to figure out what it is, other than he refuses to get a 4th base when he economically needs one. So, Dept comes in, Queen yada yada, checks for a 3rd base over here. There's not one there, so probably up north it is. I guess maybe checks for a 4th base over there, which I feel like Solar could do if he wasn't drawing up so hard. Dept actually gets into the main this time. Scouts the lack of a lair, scouts the lack of a 2nd gas, scouts the lack of a Roach Warren, says, okay, no crazy, 2.5, 3 base Roach Ravager attack is coming, which can be very good, mind you. But not if the Protoss knows it's coming, and that scout from Stats was just perfect. So he knows he can just actually kind of sit back, not really super worry about walling off at this stage either. Observer comes in and says, hey, by golly, it's an Oracle. Observer. That's an Overlord, not an Observer, but the Oracle's aim is just Oracle. Because I'll be dead in 10 minutes. Fair enough, Oracle name giver. We'll be dead in 10 minutes. Probably not sooner than that because, again, this is Stats who's controlling you, but who knows? 3 minute and 45 second Spore coming up at the 3rd base. And the main base. And the natural base can just do whatever it wants because there will be queens in range to defend if necessary. Is he trying to cut Spores? What an interesting strategy that would be. Anyway, another Oracle on the way. I mean, this is just so much repeat. So much repeat and repeat of what we've been seeing in the first 3 games were this. It was Phoenix, it was multiple Oracles, it was 2 or 3 drones getting killed. Then your second Oracle comes in and you get maybe 3 or 4 more kills, maybe if you're lucky. And then Solar never ever goes for a 4th base at all, not once. I guess part of it is he's worried about going for a 4th base when Stats is on 2 bases, because there's some really scary 2-base attacks that can come get you if you're saturating a 4th base, for sure. But like, as soon as you see the 3rd base going down for Stats, you should be taking a 4th yourself. I don't like. This is basic stuff. So Solar knows this. He knows this. I just don't know why he's not doing it, is the thing. So Queen's fighting, Spore getting some nice shots off. Another couple drones go down. No big deal, no big deal. And Ling's heading on out to see if there's an army coming to kill him anyway. A 3rd Oracle has joined the party. Immortal production has begun, and by golly, we already have 3 or 4 sentries. So yeah, I'm having the deja vuist of all deja vu. Adepts come in for round 3. Like, this is just absolutely... Stats has a build, and this is Stats' build, everybody. 2 more drones go down, both Adepts die. We're hiding a bunch of Oracles up here, which you can barely see on the minimap, by the way. Just barely know that they exist, but they're going to come in here sooner rather than later. There's only 1 Queen and a Spore here. The other Queens are moving off for some reason, and Ling's checking to see, is there a 3rd base? No. Yes, there is a 3rd base down here. 4th base time. Go, Solar, go. Take a 4th base. You can do it. Oracles coming in. There's not much Queen protection. 3 more drones go down. Queens stay alive. Ling's trying to see, is the army moving out? Yes, but he doesn't know about this one.
The enemy has discovered us.
He does know about that one. Okay, that's good. Are you still coming in? A couple more drones go down, and Oracle gets killed. In the meantime, we're going to assume that was Oracle names. He's dead in 6 minutes. And here comes our little tiny Oracle, Sentry, Oracle. Ah! Sentry Immortal push. By golly. Samacrow's been calling these ground immortals sometimes. It throws me off so bad. Hey, they're shooting through the creep there. That's... I've never seen that before, I don't think. I guess there aren't many attacks that are just constant beams, you know what I mean? Okay, here we go. We got roaches, we got ravagers. I think Solar can hold here. Again, he's prepared for it. The first time this happened, he was not prepared for it at all. Oracle wants to throw down a stasis field, if at all possible, but who knows? Who knows if it will be? Free Queen. And free Creep Tumor if you want it. Yep. Yadu. Force field's coming up. Ravager count not super high. Ling's trying to go for a bit of a wraparound, but the front side wasn't ready for that at the moment. And by the way, guess who's not getting a 4th base through all of this? Is it because he can't? Ling's trying to get in. Nope. 1 Adept can hold the day, no problem. And Ling's jumping on this isn't going to do anything, buddy. All right, man. Bit of a surround, and that's enough for make Stats to recall. So Stats is like, no, I don't like getting attacked at from 3 angles, so we're not going to do that. Infestation Pit on the way from Solar. That is a fast Infestation Pit. 7.5 minutes, sucker, there. 63 workers to 60, but the 3rd base is up, and there's no 4th base from Solar. Solar, show me how. Win this game. Prove me wrong. Show me how you win. On 3 bases. Oh, he's making Swarm Host is what it is. That's what the Infestation Pit was for. So we go to Swarm Host. Oh my gosh, a 4th base. And 7 sub-8 minute 4th base. Yes! This is what we're talking about here. Okay, Solar feeling good. Solar feeling good. Solar forced an entire recall. Feels safe enough to go for a 4th. While continuing to make Swarm Hosts. Getting a Nidus up this time too. So it's going to be Nidus Swarm Host, not just the regular style, which I'm not as big of a fan of. Seems like Nidus Swarm Host is harder to deal with for Protoss and both for Terran. I never see it in ZVZ, I guess, just because, well, if you try it, I think the army just moves across the map and kills you. So maybe that's what the problem is. Holding that one. Have I ever seen Swarm Host in a ZVZ? I don't know, man. Usually over way before Infestation Pit is the problem. So, Nidus Network done. More Swarm Hosts on the way. I don't know. Has this been scouted? I don't think Solar sees the Infestation Pit, so he has to assume. Well, he knows, right? He just knows that Swarm Hosts are a potential option here. Some free Zealots, I guess. A handful of Zerglings gave their lives for that. And actually posturing out here, losing a few roaches with the posture, which is not part of the plan. But then the Nidus erupts, and a Nidus is coming up down south here too. And here we go, gonna pop inside the main. Oh, he's guessing wrong. He's guessing wrong. The Locusts are coming into the main base. Oh, if they can cancel Storm. Oh my gosh, they're gonna cancel Storm. Where are the reinforcements at? Storm denied. Huge. Huge win for Solar there. Storm is denied. The Locusts are actually going to... Oh my gosh, what? 20 HP left on that Nexus. What is it? What is it with Nexus is almost getting killed in this series? This is bananas. Back in. Everybody back in. Oh, 2 Swarm hosts get caught outside and killed. Not too shabby there. Roach's Ravagers coming inside the main base. Crosabiling down one of the shield batteries and one of the pylons, but only depowering a single warp gate. Popping out. They want to get this Nexus so bad. They really want to get this Nexus so bad. They're going to pop. They're going to go back in the Nidus. Engagement here. Solar doesn't really care if he wins this engagement. He's just keeping the army away. Oh, wait. He's bringing the Swarm hosts in. Okay. Well, the Swarm hosts are in. They're dropping on top of everything. They are killing Stalkers and going right after these Immortals, too. Holy crap. I think that's just a win for Solar. Suddenly, it's 133 to 76 army supply. The sentries are getting jumped on by the Zerglings. Crossbows getting dodged as well as they can. Here from Stats. Free Immortal there, though. Shield battery? No, he ends up going down. Shield battery is gone. Now future attacks will not go as well. And the Swarm hosts are re-popping off of that cooldown. Stats is trying to hold on. He doesn't want to go to a game 6 versus Solar, but it looks like he's going to have to. Cyber Core down. Another round of Locusts right on your front door. Army supply is plummeting here. Immortal's going to get surrounded. Shield battery's trying to come up. That is not going to work at all. Swarmos trying to take down that Immortal if they can. And they get one of them. They get one of them, and the other one takes a lot of serious shots there too, but doesn't actually go down. Archon's defending. Storm is now out. Where on earth did he make another Templar Archives and get Storm and all of this chaos? Stats, you're a wizard. You're a wizard, Stats. Storm's just inviting these attacks to come in. He's not stabilized, is he? No, he's half the army supply. He's still got this Nexus, though, mind you. We still got this third one, too. But who's saturating the 4th base? Solar is. I'm telling you, 4-basing Solar a lot scarier, as it turns out. Locust taking down an Archon. Locust taking down a couple more Archons as they're morphing in. There we go. Got that. Immortals getting chased back to Warp Prisms. What is this? A couple Zealots hanging out for some reason. Oracle throws down a Revelation and gets killed. How is this not over? Stats is like, I'm on 3 bases. You haven't killed all that many of my probes. Just because my army supply is a third of what yours is doesn't mean I still can't win. Says Protoss. And there's your good game. Solar takes the win with a 4th base and forces a game number 6. All right, man. That was, I think that's what he's been trying to do the first couple of games, or what he tried to do the first couple of games and just couldn't do it. Or the first 3 games, I guess, was eventually get to Swarm hosts and do this shenaniganry. It was really effective, by the way. It was fantastically effective here against Stats. I mean, I can't believe he didn't get that Nexus. Can't believe it. So yeah, in this game, Stats lost 14,000 resources to 11 for Solar, which is how you win as Protoss. And yeah, 6 Immortals down, 5 Archons down there too. I can't believe he got Storm back. I thought Solar losing Storm there, getting it denied, meant he would never have Storm ever again. But by golly, he did. He made another Templar Archives and got that thing started post-haste and chronoed it, and he had it ready to go. So good for him. But just not enough. Just not enough to handle the Locust coming down and jumping on his stuff. He didn't have enough Storm, or enough. Didn't have enough splash during those first attacks, right? The first attacks, no Archons and no Storm. And that's what put him in the hole he couldn't dig himself out of. If he had Storm available, it would have been a different story. But yeah, he got, again, and the important thing here is that he guessed wrong, right? He heard the Nidus Storm erupt. He didn't know where it was. He assumed it come for his 3rd base, but Solar mind gamed him and went for the main base instead, and that's where the problem started. Crazy stuff. Crazy what a game of StarCraft can hinge on. Eh? Okay, cool. We're going to come to our final game. Wait, no, this isn't game 7. This is game 6. Oh my gosh. Can Solar force a game 7 in the next one? I don't know. Let's find out together. It's going to be Stats and Solar in a game 6 coming up next. It's game 6. Man, I love game 6s. We don't see them except in best of 7s. Top 10 corner here on Turbo Cruise, the ladder edition. It is Solar. And in the bottom left, he is Stats. Man, he was up. He was up 3 games to 0, and he lost 2 games in a row there. Ooh, Ooh, I don't know, man. I mean, sure, the first loss was a very weirdish kind of has style contain attempt, which, I don't know, it can work, but it wasn't super well executed. And then in his other loss, he just guessed wrong on where the Nidus Worm was. Just didn't have vision on that side of the map. If he has the Nidus Worm, I think he's ready to go. He saves Storm, and it's a much different game. So anyway, this probe is really early. Like, that is a hatch blocking probe, thank you. He doesn't get it. He tried his best. If Solar was just a little bit off on that timing, he would have blocked the hatch and been super duper annoying, because this third base is kind of far away. I don't know, distance-wise, maybe not too bad. Maybe not too bad. But we don't see a forge, I say, as I keep watching that production tab. Keep checking it out. By the way, you know we have merch. We've got merch available if you just click and link in the description. Or there should be a card at the end of the game. Anyway, either way, what I'm trying to say is you can get Falcon Paladin hats and t-shirts and mugs and pillows and a sterling silver bracelet for some reason. But if there's anything you want that is not available, let us know and we can toss it in. Okay, so where are we today, ladies and gentlemen? Nothing crazy from Solar at all. Hatchcast pool play, about a 17 hatch. Thank you very much. Third hatch going down. Man, I don't want to call this the Solar build because I'm pretty sure he didn't come up with it, but by golly does he love taking this third hatch early. Like, the sub 2 minute third is his bread and his butter. That's his third? I feel like if I took this third, Somicron would be mad at me because I should have taken it here, but anyway. Who's it? Boom, 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 boom. Depth on the way. We've seen this, you guys. This is like the most samey series I've ever cast in the entire history of my channel. I cannot believe this. There's your Stargate. There's your speed. At about 5 minutes, we'll see a Lair and a Roach Warren. We'll see a Phoenix first, and then we'll see an Oracle, etc., etc., etc. I'm really kind of surprised at the complete lack of mix-up here. I guess Stats did go for the crazy has thing, and maybe he's like, I learned my lesson. I lost that. I'm never doing anything weird again. Yeah, the slow zones are going to keep this Creep Tumor alive. Although, actually checking the third first, Creep Tumor does go down. Kui gets some free shots off early. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out. Did he just make 2 Zerglings? Oh no, he's got the 4. Okay. So Depth gets out of there after getting the scout off, recognizing the low saturation on the natural base. Obviously, there's a very, very fast third base there, too. So, Yar, hey, look, it's a Phoenix. And do we have an Oracle name ready to go? Of course we do. We're running a little bit low on those. So, if you want to submit an Oracle name, feel free to do so. Just by putting Oracle name and then your Oracle name and its backstory, if you want to have one in the comments of any video, I'll find it. I will find it. Oracle's name is Boston Dynamics Robot. After being kicked around one too many times by humans, the Boston Dynamics Robot is going to kick every living thing it sees with lasers. Who gave the Boston Dynamics Robot a laser? Honestly, what a poor choice that was. But yeah, it's interesting stuff we're seeing out there from Boston Dynamics. I think Google acquired them a few years ago, but they're still doing what they're doing. They're still making robots and pushing robotics technology beyond where it is. So I mean, isn't it a crazy time we live in? It really is. We got robots who are really good at StarCraft. We've got robots who can walk upright. We've got really scary dog robots that are probably going to kill us all one day. Yeah, I mean, this whole segment of human history is just advancing so fast with technology. So basically, ever since we developed, what do we want to say here? The steam engine? Probably the steam engine, but if you think about this, for the entirety of human history, ever since we domesticated the horse, the fastest way to get anywhere on land was horse. Until the train. Until the train, you guys. That's so much of human history where it was horses and horses. And that was it. That limited your ability to get anywhere, was horse. And like, there was the Pony Express, which the concept was you have a lot of horses staged in different places along the route, so you can go faster than you normally could. But man, ever since we invented the concept of the train, it's really, technology has taken an incredible just leaps and bounds. It has improved over time here. I mean, we went from that to like, we were on the moon in 100 years. That's insane. Now we're looking at making robots. We've got artificial intelligences popping up all over the place. If we ever hit the singularity where artificial intelligences become self-aware and are able to help themselves learn and grow. We already kind of have that with self-learning, but anyway, it's going to be crazy. All right. Whoa, quick pause, I guess. We're back in it, though. 3 more drones go down. I'm not talking about the game as much because, by golly, it's the same thing you've already seen. I'm getting a little bit annoyed at it. There's your third base from stats at the time he always does. He's going to send 2 adepts in. Or maybe he tried that, but the Lings messed up that timing. Whatever, it's fine. Then he pushes through the slow zones with some sentries and an immortal. Yada, yada, yada. And Solar's got some roaches and some ravagers on the way. Glial Reconstitution coming up a little bit earlier than I think it's been in the past. But yeah, the lair is done. And here come the Lings trying to scout where this army is. They have to get out through the slow zone, though. Slow zone. And Solar has no interest in a 4th base at all yet. So here we go. Ravagers in production. 2 of them. 16 Lings on the way here, too. Warp Prism present. Oracle's getting a couple more kills up north here. Ling's trying to get in. Nope, there's an adept. Ling's really trying to get in, but nope, there's an adept. Force fielding and a Ravager to finish it off. Nicely done. Glial Reconstitution is done. And here we go. Guardian shield up, using the Warp Prism to bring in reinforcements. With the Stalkers and the Zealots and the Sentries. And this is just looking bad, is what it is. There's like 4 roaches here. I guess there's a bunch of Lings. Okay, so Lings getting on top of the sentries is not bad. You gotta kill them, though. Fancy Warp Prism Micro, keeping the sentries alive, recognizing how important they are. Corrosive Bile landing there, too. And by golly, once again, Solar just by the skin of his teeth is able to push this back and take a 4th. Hey, Solar, remember when you took a 4th in the last game and you won it? I remember that. That was great. Let's do that. Let's do that. Although Oracle is sniping off a couple more drones on gas this time in the main base. How many have died, you ask? Well, 13. Glad you asked the question. 13 drones have been killed. And this is the aggression I was talking about off of 3 bases. I'm looking at it. It's doing all right. It's going to kill a couple Stalkers here. Some Sentries are going to die for sure. Zealots coming in to try to help with this. They don't have charge yet, which means they're not as good. Ravager coming in from some of the wounded units, but these 2 Oracles are having a field day, making sure the Ravagers never come up. Oracles, man. 9 and 10 kills on these Oracles, and then it's just going to be Roaches, and trying to deal with an Immortal and a Warp Prism is really bad for Roaches for sure, and the Roaches have to get out. Once again, 3-base Roach Ravager attack failed against a 3-basing Protoss. He's 4th base, man. I don't know what to tell you other than a 4th base. He's going for Swarm Host again. This time off of 3 bases, which I don't... Does he have a Nidus at least? He does. He's got a Nidus network here. Man, that 4th base is so accessible. Your creep is almost touching it already, dude. I mean, don't expand here or here. Here might be okay, too. Your creep's also in that general location, but... Yeah, Templar Archives on the way. I mean, Stats is just a robot, dude. He just does what he wants. He does what he wants. So Nidus coming up. He's going to hear the roar and try to guess. Okay, we're recovered from replay while a Nidus was coming up. Holy crap. There's the Erupt. Where do they go? Oh, he splits up this time. He splits up to try to figure out where it is. He knows it's this time in the natural base. He doesn't have anything in here to stop it. The Roaches and Ravagers, again, here to just mess it up. Mess up the response to this, and they're going to snipe down. Oh my gosh, they're going to snipe down the Nexus. Shield Battery doesn't have energy to do... Oh, it does. It does have enough energy to save it. Holy crap, Shield Battery saves another Nexus. This has been the Nexus saving series today. I cannot even believe that. That's another Nexus saved by a Shield Battery. Incredible. So that Nidus Worm dies. This one pops quite nicely, in fact. And Solar pressuring. He's got a 4th base on the way. Okay, so this bodes a little bit better for him, but the Storm is almost done. And once Storm is done, the Storm hosts get a little bit easier to handle. They still suck if you're Protoss, but Solar's a little bit more comfortable with it. Ling's rolling in, but there's Shield Batteries and Immortals there. Oh my gosh, Storm finished right in the nick of time. Look at this. Look at that action. Where are my High Templar? 10 kills on that one. That's a lot of Locusts, man. It's a lot of locusts he has killed. Trying to get a Ravager up on the front lines right now, and it is going to finish and saving that thing, that roach from like 0 HP, filling it right up. That's fantastic. That's really good right there. Again, the pressure is all here from Solar. He's on his 4 bases-ish. I don't know if he is or not. The Stormhost kind of getting caught out here again, which is never a good thing. These Oracles, man. 12 kills and 14 kills. And some of this has been Ravager, and some of this has been Stormhost, which is just... wow. So Free Zealots down that way. Stormhost going to launch. And maybe try to bait out some more storms here. Oh, Free Sentry is not bad. Immortal taking some direct hits there. Does get picked up and saved by the mama ship. I mean, it's not a mother ship, but War Prisms do a good job babysitting her units for sure. This creep spread is kind of insane, too. I'm loving this. Pushing up even further here. Army supply 101 to 69. Doubling up for Solar right now. He's got his 4th base. He's starting to saturate it. He's doing what he needs to do to win this game. Oracle does get killed. The Queen's coming out of the Nidus. And actually picking off that Oracle, that is kind of a hot move there. Locusts want to kill this Nexus so very, very bad. We'll see what the shield battery can do about it. And here we go. Oh, the storms are good. The War Prism. No, the Nexus does go down. The counterattack of Zealots takes down 5 drones up to the north here. But they get handled pretty quickly before any more damage can be done. So we're looking at a 2-basing stats for the next couple of minutes here, which does not bode well for the Protoss player in the least. But he did catch all the Swarm hosts out of bounds. Oh, that hurts. That hurts immensely. Where was the Nidus? Was he? Might have been focusing on this up here and lost track of his Swarm host. But oh, he got revenge on his Nidus. That's for sure. Pop out over here, whatever's left, and whatever is left is 6 Swarm hosts. Not as good. Oh, they're gonna get that. They're gonna. All right, dude, you can't sit out here without the. Oh gosh. All right. Well, Army is just plummeting right now from Solar. He went from about 90 supply to 60 during that battle. And Stats takes game 6 and takes the series. Wow. Finally gets his 4th win there after a bit of a delay. Okay, hold on. Hold your friggin' horses there. What are you GGing out for here? I guess he knows. Are his Swarm hosts? Yeah, they got a while to go. The Army supply is plummeting for sure. But man, Stats has to rebuild as natural. You still have 56 workers. He doesn't have a huge bank, but he's been spending his money well anyway. He's trying to make additional Swarm hosts. That is a weird place to tap out. I don't like it very much. I mean, sure, he lost this battle, but it's here, right? If you lose a battle on this side of the map, you're dead. But if you lose a battle here, you can still make reinforcing units. You can still do something by the time Stats walks across the map. I guess the Swarm hosts aren't dead either, but whatever. Interesting time to tap out there here on Turbo Cruise. But man, Stats gets the win. Stats takes it 4-2 in this best of 7. And nothing was a super long macro game, I don't think. I think our longest game was maybe 13 or 14 minutes, but really fun stuff nevertheless there. And Stats' attempt at being Has was also pretty fun too. But yeah, twice there, Solar let his Swarm host get caught out of any safety area at all and just get butchered. I think he lost both of those games too. He did. He lost both of those games in which his Swarm host just died because they didn't have any Nidus network to hide in. And they didn't have anywhere to run either. They just got backed up against a wall. He needs to be better. I mean, I think Solar wins. Maybe he forces a game 7 if those Swarm hosts stay alive. Because, man, he had just sniped off this Nexus. That slows down Stats so much. And then maybe Solar didn't feel like he had to push the issue so much because he lost all his Swarm hosts. But, wow. Great series. Honestly, great series. Really enjoyed it. Hit that like button if you like what you saw and what you heard today. Also, subscribe. I do daily StarCraft 2, and Brood War every single day of the week here on YouTube. I'm also on Twitch at twitch.tv/FalconPaladin, doing things like StarCraft and a little bit of World of Warcraft Classic, because that's been the hot thing lately. But yeah, that's going to be it. Going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and your Sunday series. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /FalconPaladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself. Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. And today it's going to be a match between Sue and Zest here on King's Cove, the Ladder Edition. These two players have been playing a lot the last two tournaments. I feel like they know each other very well, so this should be an excellent game. Top left-hand corner, we have the Red Zerg player, Sue. And in the bottom right-hand corner, it is the blue Protoss player, Zest. All right, man, OG Zest here versus Sue. Zest is just a very patient, very, how do I want to explain it? A defensive Protoss player. He is not all in. He's very much interested in not engaging unless he's absolutely going to win an engagement, which everybody should do, honestly. If you're trying to get into engagements you can't win, don't do that. Stop doing that. But Zest is just, he will float around these three bases, take a fourth base, go for a fifth base. Like, I'm expecting to see a lot of bases here out of Zest. At least in the games that I've cast of his. It seems to be that is definitely the case. Now, it's a one-gate Expander Rooney out of Zest. Sue going for the hatch gas pool play. Nothing too crazy from him. There's the gas, and there's the pool at 17 supply. And everything lines up real nicely to get 3 workers on gas and then fully saturate your main hatchery again, and then you can get 2 queens and speed and start saturating your natural. It's just a nice flow is what it is. It's 18 gas. It is a, well, sorry, no. It is a 16 hatch, 18 gas, 17 pool is the build. It's good against Terran, and it is also good against Protoss. It's a little too greedy, I think, maybe against Zerg for the most part, especially if you're playing in the, Platinum Diamond Leagues, which you probably are, statistically. It's where most people live on the ladder. Don't do that for Zerg. There are other builds that you want to do otherwise. We can talk about those some other time, but 12 pool opening to be aggressive is not bad as long as you follow that up with a lot of macro. Just a thought. Again, ZVZ, there is no set, I don't know if there's a set meta with that or a set build order, just because there are a few different things you can do that are all pretty viable, especially at the lower levels. Send me a message, says Sue. I don't know what that's all about. Probe scouting in, nothing to worry about here. Does not see a quick bathing nest. Doesn't see a really fast Roach Warren. Doesn't see a lair that would indicate maybe there's Nidus play coming in. So great scout there from Zest. Overlord comes in, sees the same thing over on Zest's side of the field. Sue's not worried about anything nuts coming towards his way either. He's going to see the Overlord come out. Or the Overlord. The Adept come out. The Adept versus the Overlord. Yeah, these Lings are not going to be able to kill this probe because the Adept will save her. And they know that, so they're going to pull back. Overlord scouting around trying to see if there's anything else. And there's your third base at about 240, 230 or so. After you've saturated your natural base to some extent. I don't think there is a set way to do that. We've seen different players handle that differently. But Adept running around trying to find those Lings. Can't do it because the Lings went home because they don't have speed. Speed's definitely on the way though, which is nice. Additional Queen coming in here at the natural base. Main base just happily churning all the resources out. Did pull 2 workers off gas, which indicates, again, we're not going for anything aggressive. This is extremely macro opening out of Sue here. I mean, if you don't have that much gas, you really can't go for much of anything. Puts it on back a little bit there. Just 1 more worker on the gas, goes for a lair. Third base coming up. We've got a queen ready to go for that third base as necessary. No more queens in production. Dark Templar Shrine on the way here from Zest. He's also got himself a robotics facility and a Twilight Council, which indicates, well, obviously it's the Twilight for the Dark Shrine, but obviously this is going to be some kind of an Archon drop, or it could just be DTs, right? It's just warping in DTs around here and running them into the natural base is pretty good too. About 4 minutes, you want to start making your spores. I mean, this is all stuff we've talked about before, but it's good to have this kind of drilled into your head, and repetition is not bad when it comes to learning things. Roach Warren coming in. Really do want roaches to handle Archons or DTs. DTs can get handled by anything as long as you have detection. You can trade pretty well with those guys. I mean, they don't hit all that. Okay, they hit hard, but they hit slow. And they don't have a lot of HP and they die fast. It's just the permacloak is the trade-off there. So we're at 4-15. I'm not seeing any spores coming up here from Sue, and I'm worried about that. All right, so here come the DTs. Does he change them into the Archons is the question. No, he's just going. He's just going. My gosh, at least there's an Overseer. Okay, so Overseer up. He sees the DTs coming in. This Adept shading in. Oh, 2 Adepts shading into the natural base, trying to get some stuff done. DT's coming into the third base. The first Roaches have started to pop at pretty much the perfect time here. So they have to pick up and get out of there. The main base doesn't have anything in it defending there either. It's really annoying for the War Prism to do this kind of stuff. The Adepts both end up dead there in the natural base. I'm not sure if they kill many drones at all. Do we not have the Game Heart turned on? I'm not sure that we do. The queen does go down. I think the queen's to be hacking away at that war prism, if nothing else. Look, he's just going to unload back down here, too. So this is some really nice war prism harass. Overseer, not quite fast enough to keep up with this at the moment. Overseer's speed would be nice. It's just the Overlord speed upgrade you get at the lair. As soon as you get these bikes, this needs to go back to work now. There we go. Link's here at the third base trying to shut it down. You know what? Doing all right. Taking out a Stalker, taking out a Probe, and then the Depths show up, and it's time to go home. So decent attempt there, but yeah, 10 drones down. How many DTs died? Let's take a look at that real fast. No DTs went down. Holy smokes, that's nice protection there, honestly, on those dudes. Oh, I guess there are 3 in the War Prism. Fair enough indeed. Immortal coming on in, because you want Immortals versus Zerg regardless of what they're doing. Honestly, if you have Immortals, you're going to have a good time. Never skip Immortal. Spire on the way from Sue, which you don't see a lot of Spire at the 5-minute mark versus Protoss because, well, Archons are really good. And Phoenix are really good. And I guess if your opponent doesn't go for Phoenix, then you might just be okay. We've seen that before. We've seen games entirely lost. Oh, Mage, I guess, was lagging. Who knows? The Archon harass is pretty good here out of Zest. He's playing pretty aggressively and pretty darn well in this game. Really annoying stuff. The damage is starting to stack up on these Archons, though. However, there's nobody in the main. Stu needs to do a better job splitting his units. Kind of having some in the main base and some in the third base and some in the natural, because this is really frustrating stuff. Oh gosh, the drones are stacked up, but the Archons couldn't follow through. That was too much of a narrow opening for them to get through. Alright, so yeah, War Prism at this point is really low on HP, and I'm not sure. Yeah, that's a recall situation right there. Can it actually get home? Yes, it can. So not bad. Not bad in the end of the thing. 17 drones killed in the first 6 minutes is really good. The problem is, there are 6 Mutalisks on the way, and Zest does not have a Stargate. So, yeah, that is a problem. We've seen this. Again, I was trying to say this a couple minutes ago, but we have seen a Protoss just straight up die because, well, didn't make a Stargate and didn't see the Spire and didn't know that there were Mutalisks on the way. That's an interesting place to put a Spire. Zest does not know it exists, by the way. He is not getting cannons. He is not making Stalkers. He's getting shield batteries up, which is nice, but these Mutalisks are going to cause major heartache and major problems. It's not mass Mutalisk. He is going for a Roach Ravager follow-up here, but he's hoping to kill some stuff. Something scouted these Mutas, because those Stalkers are patrolling, and the Archons are chasing inside that War Prism. So this is, good hits. Good hits, and now it is Sue's turn to be the annoying one. Picking off probes here and there. We don't have Game Heart. Why don't we have Game Heart, guys? It's frustrating. Alright, so the Mutas can't get a lot done there. Just a few Stalkers defending. And nice control with the Warp Prism and the Archons to defend against those guys, too. They do have tissue regeneration, which means they'll heal up quite nicely here. But it's not going to be mass Muta by any stretch. It is Roaches, it is Ravagers, third base. Baisu finally saturating his third, which means it's time for a fourth, for sure, without question. But I don't know if he's going to be able to get there here. Zest, he's on 3 bases. The Muta's trying to dart in again, but once again, the Stalkers are ready to rock. Cannons are coming up. Shield battery with cannons are here, which is even more important. These Adepts die. And they do see the number of Roaches present, so you don't want to go crazy at this point. If you're Zest, you don't want to go Phoenix to deal with these Mutas, because you don't need them. You can handle this many Mutalisks with what you got, for the most part. It's the mass Mutalisk that you want to watch out for. So, saw the number of Roaches and Ravagers and said, okay, we'll just continue with Stalker production. We'll keep getting Immortals. Immortal count is insanely huge, and it's time to go from Zest. The follow-up push is real, ladies and gentlemen. It's 98 to 66 army supply. Sue has the lead, but the composition here, the number of Immortals and Sentries present is pretty good. That said, if these were Ravagers, there we go. Additional Ravagers on the way from Sue. Corrosive Bile does handle this whole weird Immortal Sentry push, which is effectively what this is, strangely enough. There's 2 Archons in the mix, which is fine. Trying to take down this 4th base, if at all possible. I'm not entirely sure if you're going to be able to, man. So coming on up, jumping in there, Corrosive Biles, landing on those force fields. Force fields are getting whittled down here. Roach is trapped inside the force field, though. Getting wrecked. This is a really big Protoss army. Sue, again, has the bigger army according to supply, but the Immortals are really scary. The Mutas are trying to engage here. The base does end up getting sniped, and we're back down to a 3-base economy. Zest continuing to push in here. Sue trying to hold the high ground, if at all possible. These Immortals, 7 kills, 7 kills, 7 kills. Do they all have 7 kills? How? Wow, 777s on those Immortals. That's insane. Mutalisks, no. No, not against that many Blink Stalkers, especially if they have +1 attack. Do they have Blink? Of course they do. Of course they have Blink. And yeah, just blinking out of those corrosive biles. Again, it's... if there's somewhere to go, a professional player will absolutely dodge out of corrosive biles. I don't think they're good enough here. More Lings coming in, more Roaches coming into. The Immortals are refusing to die. As I say, that one goes down. And that one goes down. That's kind of a big deal. Backing into the corner here. Su's trying to take this thing. Mutalisk trying to shut down the 4th Nexus at the same time. Su needs to win this battle. And he's going to kill every single Immortal. And I think he can handle the rest of it here. These Stalkers are going to trade extremely poorly versus the Ravagers and any Roaches that happen to exist here. Lings coming in to make the attack there too. 13 kills on that Archon in the mix. But yeah, 4th base coming up for Su, but 4th base coming up for Zest at the same time. So this Protoss player is ahead mega big time right now. And going home. He feels like I did enough damage. Su is double expanding, which is nice. He's going into more Mutalisks, which I kind of honestly appreciate from him at this point. Because Zest has refused to respect the Muta. He hasn't gone for a Stargate. He's going for a Templar Archives here. I guess he wants to get Storm, which I'm totally down with. You can get Storm if and you want to. No complaints from me. And yeah, Su just trying to remac her up here, making drones. He's up at a 64 to 69 total workers. Zest coming in again just with a large Stalker Sentry army, which is actually pretty darn good against Mutalisks. Sentry DPS against Mutas is not bad as long as they can stay alive. They're just real squishy. Changelings see what we're dealing with here. And a Sentry Stalker army composition with a ton of Archons coming in. Zest is not going to wait for Storm at this stage of the game. The Muta's trying to dart on into the natural base where there are 2 cannons and a shield battery. How many of these Mutas will die is the question of the day. They're darting into the main base where 2 cannons and a shield battery also happen to exist. So I guess they go after the shield battery first, losing 1 Mutalisk. Ah, they didn't even get the shield battery. They didn't even get the shield battery. What are you doing with these Mutas, man? You got to commit. Trying to take down the gas income, which is pretty good in range of one of the cannons, though, which is not good. Assimilator goes down. Stalkers get some shots off. Mutas do have some dead airspace to run around back behind the 3rd and call it good. Again, this is keeping Zest at home. Zest does not want to stay at home. He wants to push out and try to kill stuff. The longer Su can be allowed to sit here and saturate his 4th base, the better it's going to be for him. Although Zest has saturated his 4th because he's a good Zerg player, good Protoss player, without question. And ready, set, here we go. Tacking on in. We got Stalkers. We got Los. Are these? Those are Speedlings. Yeah. He's got speed. For a second there, they just look slow. One Immortal joining the party here. That's a lot of Archons. 124 to 125. And at this point where Zest has the army supply in equal to Su's, that is bad for Su. He needs a bigger army supply. He is making 32 Zerglings. The Mutalisks are wrecking Zest's 4th base. That's a lot of dead probes, man. Zest needs to make something happen now. Here we go. Force fielding everybody out of there. Zealots wrecking the 4th base. The Nexus, or the hatch actually goes down there. The Banelings are not going to explode on top of those. They're going to do it. They're exploding on these Archons. It takes so many Banelings to kill an Archon. The force fields are insane right now. The Ravagers have to waste their corrosive biles on force fields. They don't want to be doing that. And that's going to be a lot of wasted Banelings on those Stalkers. Sure, you might get them, but in the end, that is not a good trade for you. 4th base done for Zest, but the army supply continuing to push up. This is a really good game. Really good game here. Stalkers tacking on in. Roaches just going to pieces here. Stutter stepping forward is Zest, and I think that's going to be it. Army supply is 51 for Su, but how many of these are the Mutalisks that aren't going to be that great against this Stalker Archon combination? And that's your good game. Zest does take game number 1 in our sneaky twofer between these 2 players. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. It is absolutely going to be a sneaky twofer because, boy, we have a couple good games from these players. All right, man. Zest wins game number 1. Whew. That was a lot of fun. Man, I like ZVP. I like ZVP so very much. All right, so 23,000 resources lost for Su, 16,000 from Zest. 52 drones down is a lot. 34 probes killed is a lot too, but 2 hatcheries killed is a huge deal. 83 roaches, 8 ravagers, 22 banelings, 9 mutalisks down. 5 immortals killed is a lot. 7 archons down as well. 18 zealots, 26 stalkers, 2 warp prisms did get picked off, and 12 sentries. So both players taking their lumps there, but in the end, Zest was just able to keep Sue on 4 bases for quite some time, snipe off a couple hatcheries in the meantime, and even though he ended up losing his 4th, he just had the bigger army. The force fields were absolutely immaculate. The upgrades were good here too. +2 attack was done. Meanwhile, no attack upgrades for the Roaches and Ravagers at all, and no armor upgrades either. Just +1 for the Lings and the Banelings, which weren't that good in this situation. Too many Archons. The Banelings exploding on Archons was really bad. The Stalkers also taking Baneling hits was totally fine with them too, as long as the Zealots stayed alive, as long as they needed to. 9 kill Immortal there, 16 kill Archon, and a 2 and a 0 kill Archon. These guys must be new. They must be new to the party. So GG for Zest. We'll see if Sue can come back and win our next game of our sneaky twofer, but stick with it. We'll be right back.